Yo, we have a satanic problem. Right now they were trying to activate a video protocol from when I make a video so that they could start bothering me while I make a video and mocking me and shit like that and saying shit, but I just deleted it before they activated it. And since a lot of them ain't up right now, they're sleeping. They don't have a lot of help to go off to feed each other off and stuff, to give each other ideas. And they do it like collectively from within, like they're working knowing that they're the enemy amongst us. It's like if you belong to an occultic group and you know that you're the enemy, but you don't want other people to know that you're targeting selective people that may be a problem for your occultic group. You see what I mean? That's sort of how they work right now. Right now, they're working their tricks. Right now, they were working the tricks. They were saying they were trying to like use a God inadverted. Like they work through inadverted ways too. They're satanic. They're devil worshippers, and they're amongst us. A lot of them work within the government structure. A lot of them are in the streets. Some of them are your neighbors. Some of them are your you see, right now, they're trying to make it like if I do a certain thing, like if they could work through it, and nah, it's not gonna work. I'm solid. So they work like they like to mess with people's inner energies and like try to like project the not try they project the notion like if something is happening, but they do it through the internet. The internet is projecting the notion like if something is happening, they say it and it starts to feel like it's happening. You see what I mean? So they do a lot of word play, a lot of word casting and shit like that. Like because the words that you speak, that right there, that was a little inconsistency right there. So each word, you see that little inconsistency right there. They have like a little. So there's one of them literally right there, wherever they're at, right now, focused. Like if they're inside of, like if not inside of my phone, but it's like they're assimilating, working through my phone. You see what I mean? Like if I focused on you and I'm interacting with you indirectly without you knowing it, or even if you know, like I'll interact with your inner energy. Like if I see this spectrum of you, you see what I mean? And that's how I see them. I see the spectrum of them, and I do whatever I want with them. They started doing stuff like that where they started saying things to the point where things started to manifest like energies and stuff like that. So they wanted to wait. So they started waging a verbal warfare against me, and I'm the messenger of truth. No lie, not Jesus. Stop waiting for Jesus. Unite for me. So when they come after me, they come after me like if they're the devil going after God. You see what I mean? Because I represent God directly, and I'm here in human form representing the truth. And they're liars and deceivers, so they like to lie a lot. They like to say things and act like if they're into twisting it and inverting it and using it against you. Like if they're using like your energy against you, like they do this spell where they go everything inverted. I want everything inverted that he does, that Julio does, me, Julio. And sometimes it feels like I tell you guys the truth and it's not getting through to you because it's inverted. It's like they do one of these hand gestures, like if they're twisting it, like if it's going in, but it's not really doing what it's supposed to be doing, like if it's doing it backwards. So when I said God inverted, that's what they were make believe thinking that they could use, like if they could use God inadvertently against me, and we know that's bullshit. You see how they're delusional. Yeah, they're fucking completely nuts, psychopathic, nuts, delusional. And right now they're trying to mess with my inner energy, like it's like they've managed to make me feel inconsistent at times, and even uh like it depends if you allow them to get in. You see what I mean? If you allow them to get in, it's like the devil. You don't give the devil any power by believing his lies. So if you feel like the devil is there trying to work, sometimes a lot of people just ignore it and he goes away. You see what I mean? Well, I want them to come after me so that I could expose them to you, and that's what I did. So I got them down to a minimum now, and I'm still like asserting myself way beyond because they were having some effects on me, like some inner effects, and it was through the internet, through my phone, and through the Wi-Fi. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got my Wi-Fi device over here, and you see right there, you see what just manifested from there? Like, if there was a thing in there in this device, the image of it, you see it right there? But that's not really what it is. What they want you to think that is real so that you focus on that thing, on that imaginary thing, and not the person who's casting it. You see what I mean? Mr. T is one of them. Mr. T, the actor, Mr. T from the shows back in the days and shit like that. He's one of them. He's one of the top devil worshippers in humanity. Him, George Bush, Obama, Hillary Clinton, they're, top level devil worshippers. Freemasons, Illuminati, they have a hierarchy of devil worshippers, terrorists. I'm not lying to you. This is not a delusion. This is not a schizophrenic episode. They're real life devil worshippers, terrorists. I was about to say terrorists first before I said devil worshippers. Anyways, so they're like projecting the notion like if I'm weaker than what I am. You see what I mean? Because I have a debilitation in my back, and my nerve canals are being pressed by one of my one of my discs on my lower back that's pressing against the nerve canal, a bulge in the disc. The juice bulged out a little bit. It's pressing against my nerve canal, and it's causing an inconsistency in my behavior, my way of being. So imagine like having a pain there a lot, like consistent. Hold up. No. Right now, as I was speaking, they were trying to, ease in there some like inconsistencies and debilitation. That's what they literally tried to do. They tried to debilitate me and like slow me down, try to put like blocks in my brains and stuff like that. And sometimes when I make videos and I tell you guys what they're doing, they go as far as, oh yeah, that's what it is. That's what we're doing. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Like if that's what they're doing, because they're liars. So they gotta act like if right now forgetful. You forget, not me. They literally just try to make me forget my point, like where my direction, my trajectory. Just now, that's one of their tricks. They're literally focused on what they're seeing within. They're literally going based on how it feels. They're not even seeing me. So like they focus and it's like they're saying that they want to react perfectly opposite to what I do, to some of the things that, not what I do, but because like I said, I don't give them that much authority, like that much power. It's impossible for them to have it anyways because of who I am and what I represent and stuff like that. But they speak like curses in order for like if you spoke, because your words have energy. Each word that you speak has energy. Let's say you speak, like I said, you want to invert everything someone does, and do it perfectly opposite to your liking. Or that's some of the things that Freemasons be doing, where they go and try to like invert everything. Not what that's it depends who does it. Not everyone does it. You see what I mean? But they share information amongst each other sometimes. Sometimes they go in the know about their side or on who they're targeting and stuff like that, and they share information like you got to go this way, you got to do it like this and like that, and they follow a certain type of pattern or trajectory in which they're targeting someone. Right now they're discussing how if I start to tell you that I'm going, like if the timeline right now we're on, like how things are going, the timeline right now is in specific right now we're on and like they were just discussing that, the offsetting, like they try to offset me in the real, like, time right now. As things are going, I could be either normal, this is normal with the time, this is the timeline, this is me normal, right? And they try to like offset me so that I feel offsetted and not like myself in this time like that. You see what I mean? So that's what they were just discussing right now, and I just exposed it. Anyway, so like each word that you speak has energy. It could be like that. And they speak certain energies, certain words to create certain energies. Right now it's like they're make believe run they're like imagining, like if there's, like if this thing that they imagine, the distraction that they want us to do, focus on, is running and doing things, like if it's running away from the energy that I'm creating, like if sometimes they act like if they take the essence of certain, like my confidence, and they're running away with it, and that's what it feels like he was trying to, like he was trying to do with that thing. Like if they're giving decadence to that imaginary thing to come after me through. You see what I mean? Like they want to create an indirect, uh, like an in between thing, war. Like if they're creating an imaginary war through inadvertent ways, indirect ways against me from within. You see what I mean? So they don't want me to see what they're like, what they're doing, and stuff like that. So they say things in order to try to keep me from seeing the battlefield. They're that cowardly. They can't beat me. So what they do is they try to like keep me from seeing what's going on, and not like like what they're projecting at me is happening, because they're about lies. So it ain't happening. So they gotta go and believe that their lies are true. Hold up, fantasy. The word fantasy is standing out to me right now. They're in a fantasy. Someone said that they're in a fantasy. They're in a delusion. Delusion stands out more than fantasy. The fantasy is like the lies. It felt like lie. But they create a lot of lies to come after me through inadvertently. You see what I mean? Like because they worship the devil, and the devil is a lie. They gotta create lies to work inadvertently through. Like if they're working through the devil inadvertently, even though he's not true, he's not real, because the devil is a lie. You see what I mean? So they gotta create lies to work through through the devil through. You see, inadvertently, they gotta work. You see what I mean? Like if the devil's working through them, they're working through the devil, and the devil's working through them, but the devil's not real. It's not true. Like sometimes, it feels like they said like if the light the light and stuff. Lucifer, you see Lucifer right there, loose. It has the word luz in there, Luz. In Spanish, that means light. Sometimes it would go as far. I feel like I look at the light and why because I know my thing is about knowing. I'm about the real truth. The truth is God, and the devil is a lie. It makes perfect sense. You see what I mean? The truth is God. The truth is about solidarity and everything, and lies is about nothingness, imaginary, not true. You see what I mean? Stuff that's not real. So fantasy, delusion is part of what the devil is like. So they're in this state of mind of delusion and fantasy. You see what I mean? Like delusional, schizophrenic, psychopathic. That's what they're like. They're like objects. You see what I mean? They go into a state of mind of objects. Like they are real life people. Like a lot of the Hollywood actors and stuff like that. They're devil worshippers. A lot of some of them don't even know that they are. They just act the way they are because they're devil worshippers, and maybe someday they'll learn about it or not. Or they'll forget about it probably. You see what I mean? But anyways, they're telling me Sylvester's to. Right now, I'm having a little inconsistency because the word duro, which is hard, I just put it somewhere where the lights don't shine. Anyways, so I could do that. You see what I mean? They cast the notion like if the things that they're saying and doing are working, and I could defend myself or not. Right now, I'm letting I was letting a lot of the things that they were projecting at me have a little bit of an effect on me, so I could have it all together. Even though I don't have to learn what they're doing, I already know. But I wanted them to come after me so that I could show you what they're doing. You see, I have a little bit of inconsistency. It's because I'm a little debilitated. I'm a little weak, and ever since yesterday, I have, like I told you, I got this back problem, and it debilitates me sometimes, and it gives me this debilitation, this weakness to the point where they could work a little bit through it. You see what I mean? Like they have that as an access point. They that's what the devil, is a coward, is a complete pussy. They look for inconsistencies, weaknesses that they could probably possibly work through. You see what I mean? And a lot of people that don't know what they're like because they're there and they're not being addressed. They don't know what to do about it because a lot of people, like I told you, they just ignore it and they just go about their lives and they go away. You see what I mean? And ignoring the problem is not how you solve it. You solve the problem by directly, going after it. You solve a problem by focusing, just fucking dealing with it directly. And since the devil is about indirect and stuff like, but anyways, we could deal with this easily. We come together knowing why, share the information, could get on the same page about the enemy and their ways and how they do it. And it's simple, trust me. And between all of us, since there's a lot of you who got great ideas, good ideas and stuff like that, and I'm the main, truther, I could organize you guys to put an end to all of that easily. There's times when, because the enemy don't want people to be united. Like the devil would try, they would like to try to isolate people. They've isolated people. I isolated myself. I just didn't want to be around traitors and devil worshippers that I grew up with. So I isolated myself and I put myself outside of the scope of all of that stuff that I didn't like. So that I could tell people the truth more accurately and better, do it in better way. Sorry. So they like to isolate people. So I isolated myself. So in that case, they like to gang up on people when they're isolated. You see what I mean? They like to isolate people, get them away from other good people who are good for their life. They like to create conflicts within other, like you have a good friend and they'll try to make a big deal out of something in your mind and try to like agitation. Oh, he did this, but they'll do it in ways like if they're sending certain sensations, like if they're doing something to you, it's not really a big deal. Like he lied to you, but it was because he was going through something or he was confused. He didn't know what to do, and they'll try to make it a big deal. Like that's it. I just shouldn't be with anyone around me. And then you isolate yourself and they isolate you like that indirectly. You see what I mean? Or they'll try to create problems with your family and stuff, with your job. You know what I'm saying? Like they've done that. Not that they'll do it to you, because like I said, they don't do it to everyone. But a lot of people, since they have a lack of knowledge, even though that could be good, it could be bad too. Where the enemy likes to capitalize on lacks of people's lack of knowledge. You see what I mean? You see the inconsistency I'm having right now? Because like I said, my back is hurting me to a certain degree right now, and I gotta like get surgery and get a new disc put in my back. So when I speak, I'm not speaking with the full essence that I usually would speak through or speak with like before. Before I was speaking and it was 100%. I feel like my essence right now is being stifled right now. Like my essence, not my essence, but some of it. But that's what it feels like. Because like I told you, they like to take essence and literally like if they're taking it, like if it's something that they could take or grab, so like if to them it's solid, something that's solid, like they see it, they be there looking at it and waiting for it to form, and then try to like run away with it, or like earlier. You see what I mean? And I started having inconsistencies with my voice, my wording, my pronunciation, and I know how to speak perfect English. But they've been projecting this energy war at me where they're saying things and they say it in ways like they don't want me to perceive them and stuff. Like if they come over here, like like if they come over here and try to be like imperceivable and shit like that, like they don't like to be spotted. Because if you know who it is and you can defend yourself, oh, it's you, and you can go beat their ass or would defend yourself from within. You see exactly what they're doing, then you can defend yourself. They don't like to be spotted. They don't want you to know. They want to have all the advantages. And for you not to know, right there, they're trying to make me forget about the other point that I want to talk about. You see what I mean? So I had 2 points. I had split ideas where I wanted to talk about that and something else. And right there, they try to make me forget about the other thing. Right there, it just faded away just now. So I'm pointing right now exactly what they just did. So they're within looking at the emotional spectrum and stuff like that, and and that's another thing that they do where they like to say, I want to see the spectrum. They use it like if it's some kind of ability. I want to see the spectrum. I want to see the spectrum of Julio. And they start to feel like they can see the spectrum of me. You see what I mean? Like the emotional spectrum and stuff like the ideas, and then that's what they're moving through. You see what I mean? React or that's what they're maneuvering through. Like if they're seeing the spectrum and they're right there waiting for a certain type of weakness to develop, or whenever not like if they're there waiting, but sometimes they're there waiting for a certain type of specific, and like they'll see it coming. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they're in the know about what, you know what I'm saying, about certain things. You see what I'm saying? Like if they're seeing it together, like the possible outcomes of where things are going, like you know what I'm saying, and definite outcomes and definite things that I might say, I will say. Like if I'm about to say something, sometimes something influential, and it's 100% gonna happen, and they see that I'm not 100% focused on defending myself, like paying attention to them and defending myself and stuff like that. They'll come and try to be there before the energy, before the idea manifest, before I say it and stuff like that. You see what I mean? But they gotta activate it. So throughout the day, sometimes they gotta activate certain things in order for it to take effect. You see what I mean? So yeah, I didn't explain this. I didn't explain. You see what I mean? The little inconsistency right there. The hammer, raw steel. That's a Freemason thing where they have a hammer and they act like if this hammer is so strong, it's offsetting me. See what I mean? Like I told you. So they're offsetting is somewhere around. You see, they want me to be all the way down, and I'm over here. I'm over here, but sometimes I feel like I'm not where I should be. And like I told you, right now through this timeline, I'm supposed to be normal, me. You know what I'm saying? I could be feeling better at my best or whatever on this timeline as we're going through this timeline. You see what I mean? You have your own, you know what I'm saying, ups and downs too. And it depends. If you have any down, it's them doing it to you. They're offsetting you some way, somehow. They're offsetting. You see what I mean? So you see how I explain it, where we're going through this timeline. You know what I'm saying? And they want me to feel offsetted and not have access to the higher end ideas. Like my neighbor does that shit. He's a fucking terrorist too. And he started saying a lot. Like he wants me to go and kill him. Like the type of stuff he be doing. Like he goes, "Come here, Julio. I want you here right now." Like if he says it with authority, like if I and he's speaking to my inner self, my spirit, and like if my inner spirit goes to him and he goes, "I want you to become a toilet so I could go take a shit and shit." Like yo, the type, yo, you would go and fucking kill this guy. You see what I mean? He wants me to go and kill him. He wants me to go and take him out. And he's an older guy. He's a vet like me. I'm a veteran. He's a veteran too. So he's a terrorist. You see, not everyone who's a veteran is good. You see what I mean? I'm good, but he's a terrorist. You see what I mean? And they're satanic terrorists, so that's different. So he be saying it like, "Yo, come over here right now to my inner spirit." And like if my inner spirit goes over there and he turns it into like whatever he wants. You see what I mean? And I know it ain't true because I never let that shit happen. I would never. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You would never let that shit happen. It's impossible for me to ever follow anyone's command. You see what I mean? So, but he does that. Like if my spirit goes to him and he turns it into a toilet. Like if he goes, "Go eat some shit," or like if he does that type of shit. You see what I mean? Like he wants me to go and kill him. They be saying things like that. You see, they don't all do the same things. You see what I'm saying? They do it differently. He does it like that. Like he just be there saying things like Like they be saying like, Julio, you're not you. Like they don't want me to be me. They had that thing, that cartoon thing, or what you would call it, like, oh yeah, and they started to create ways like if they're too advanced, like if they're ahead of me and shit like that, and they can see what I'm about to think. But what is happening is that if you focus on someone a lot, and they don't know that you're watching them, you can see things ahead of time sometimes before they happen. You see what I mean? So that's what's happening. So they're saying things and they're trying to create like tactics against me. See what I mean? Right now, what I told you, they just started doing that. Like if they turn my inner spirit into a toilet and they're taking a shit on it or something like that. That's my neighbor doing it. You see what I mean? He wants me to kill him, and he's an older guy, so he doesn't give a fuck about his life. So he said that he's gonna keep saying things until he dies. This is until there's nothing left, and even after he dies, he wants to keep going. And that's most of them too. They're like that. They're full blown hateful, full blown hateful. There's a reason why I want to take them all out. The whole satanic sector, the whole satanic side. I want to take all of them out. All of them, all of them, and I mean all of them, young, older, all of them. They all like to act all innocent, like if they were being manipulated. When you catch them and shit like that, they act like if, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. They were doing this to me, like yo, they go into levels of deceptions, bro. Like, and they had it in them to be like that already. And they went like this people, enemies that I've met it throughout my life where, I was there knowing that they were the enemy, or they were there and out of nowhere I said something or did something and they just had a realization like, oh shit, I hate this fucking guy. I'm gonna decide, they would start having that realization that they're the enemy, and they would go and start saying things right there from within, or, the enemy would start using them inadvertently and stuff like that. And they would come into the conclusion that they would do stuff to me later on in life. Right now I'm going through stuff like that right now from stuff back then that they put together now from back then. You see what I mean? So right now they would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be like right by his side, but he'll never be able to see me," and they'll be there like literally right in front of me, like putting this together. Like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be right there," and they'll be thinking about this time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be right here, and he won't be able to perceive me, and I'll be, within this type of train of thought, or this idea. When this idea manifests, or not necessarily, but I'm giving you an idea of the overall scope of what the enemy is like. You see what I mean? So, anyways, yeah. So I managed to regain myself a little bit. The when I start to speak with more confidence, they dissipate. They start to disappear. So like I said, the more time I spend in my house, the more they start to get used to targeting me in this place. I sit in the same like seat right here a lot, or if not next, on the side, so I could vary, so I can have variety and stuff like that. So since I sit here a lot, they've managed to start gathering energy that's targeting me from the phone over here. And sometimes when the phone is not here where I have it right now, right on this thing right here where I have it, I usually have it mounted right here, like right now. Sometimes when the phone is not mounted there, I still feel the energy, like if they're working from there, like if the phone was there, but it's not. You see what I mean? Because I've said it before that they're targeting me through my phone, so they start to use that as a pretext to target me through. You see what I mean? So it's like I told you guys before from the beginning. If you allow these devils to do certain things, they'll try to take advantage of it. You see what I mean? And you just gotta have it in your mind that it's not true and they can't do it. And you just have it, complete what you would call it, confidence, solidarity in your mindset that it's not happening, and they can't do it. There's times when I'm solid, and no matter what tricks they try to, I see them, I feel them there, and they be trying tricks and oh, it's not working, this and that, and they be trying, like, struggling to get it through, but it doesn't work. You see what I mean? Because I don't let it through. You see what I mean? So they only do things that you allow them to do. They're liars and deceivers. So their ways is about trickery, deceptions, and stuff like. And they can't do what they want to do with me. With me, like I said, I allowed them to do some of the things that they were doing, and now I got them to a minimum. So, because I know what I'm doing, I wanted them to come after me. And besides, this was foretold that it was gonna happen. The big back pain, the biggest back pain. I just farted. I'm that real. And so yeah, it's because I have this back pain that I have this debilitation. So I'm a little weak. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm nasty or whatever. But I'm real like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the Bronx, New York. I grew up in the Bronx, and in the Bronx, it's a lot of like realness. Realness is a big thing in New York, and there's also fake ones out there because that's the reason why I left New York. I'm somewhere else now. You see that? The notion that just projected it right now. So, anyways, because they can't have their way with me, what they try to do is annoy me a little bit, and sometimes they do get annoying, but I manage. You know, I do this for the truth. But anyways, it was foretold a long time ago that I was gonna have a back pain, and here I am having a back pain. I already knew that I was gonna be retired, that I was gonna have money at this time around after 35. I was gonna be retired, or around after 35. Around I had already set my life up for later on. So they weren't the only ones doing things ahead of time. You see what I mean? Before the time came, I had already laid everything out for me, and I'm still doing things for later on now. And so, anyways, yeah, keep watching my videos. Spread the truth to people. Literally explain it to people. You know who's who. The moment they'll start reacting with you, you have a clue of, because I gave you so much truth about them, how they are, that you get to know exactly who's who the moment you start talking to them about the truth. The moment you start talking to them about me, you know exactly who they are, what team they're on, us or them. You see what I mean? It's automatic because they have a certain type of attitude. They don't like the truth. They don't like if you talk about flat Earth, because Earth is flat. That's one way to get them to expose themselves right then and there. They start to not everyone is the enemy that denies it, but a lot of them, they just go straight into denial and arguments, counter arguments, and you see it right then and there if you know how to spot their satanic ways. You know what I'm saying? You'll see it right then and there. And you could just either walk away, or a lot of people try to like convince them. You shouldn't try to convince a Satanist, because they know what side they're on. Walk away, know that they're the enemy. They'll be there knowing, they'll be there focused on what you know, like, he knows that and shit like that. They'll be there paying attention to what you know. You see what I mean? Because they like to be in the know. They like to know, even though they're not supposed to know. They like to have that information available to them so that they can react based on what you know. You see what I mean? So they don't know. It's more like they act like they know. You see what I mean? Because they're not supposed to know. They're not about the truth. They're about lies. They're completely opposite to us. They're not normal. So they don't know. It's more like I have an intruder over here. So they don't know. It's more like they act like they know. Check this guy out right here. We got you on video, yeah. Intruder, look at you. Hey. The other way. Go the other way. Go the other way. Go. Run. Anyway, I'm about to go take this guy out. Keep watching my videos. I'm gonna put him outside. I'm not gonna kill him. So yeah, stay tuned, all right?